What do you think freeze-dried pickles will taste like? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Jonathan, the Provident Prepper. We are having a blast with the new freeze dryer, and today while we were at the store, we found pickles on sale. So we decided we're gonna freeze dry pickles. We got a whole variety of them. We're gonna give it a try. One of the cool things that we thought of on the way home is that we can actually take these jars, take the pickles out and freeze dry them, clean the jars out, put the pickles back in with an oxygen absorber, seal them up, and they should be good to go. So let's get freeze drying. For our next project with the freeze dryer, we are going to freeze dry pickles, and we're going to have a little room left over, so we're going to do some ham in there as well. This was a ham that was left over from Christmas, so we just cubed it up, we put it in the freezer, and now it's ready to freeze dry. So this is going to be fun. Stay with us. So now we have our trays ready to go in. We've got some Polish dill wedges here, we've got some sweet pickles, we've got some kosher dill slices here, and some bread and butter pickles. And in addition, we have our tray of ham. These are ready to go in. We're excited to see how they turn out.
Alright, so we just barely got the ham out of the freeze dryer, and I think it's my turn to taste some of this. Okay, so to be completely honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think I expected more. I think, so it's weird because right as you bite into it, it almost turns to like a powder, like a lot of freeze-dried foods do. Soon after, it does have, you know, once it starts to soak in saliva and stuff, starts to rehydrate, it does turn to more of a meaty texture. It is a little bit dry at that point, but the good thing is it did retain a lot of its flavor. So my guess, and my mom would know better than me, but I would think that something like this wouldn't be all that great for, you know, just to have plain as a meal, but I do think it would be great in something like a soup. Alright, so we've decided to try an experiment and try to rehydrate the ham. We just put it in a little bit of water, and within a few seconds it's already rehydrated to about the same texture as what you would think of as ham. It just tastes like ham. That's pretty cool, actually. That's not really what I was expecting.
Now let's take a look at the pickles. The Polish dill wedges seem to have worked out really well. You can see they're very crisp, they snap. And it's got good flavor. The salt is kind of strong, which you would expect, but I kind of like them. These sweet pickles didn't seem to do well at all. They are still very soft, and they almost have turned into like a jelly something. They're still mushy, so obviously probably not a good candidate for freeze drying in the future. Now we have the dill slices. Again, they're crisp. They seem to have worked out really well. And again, the flavor's pretty good. not quite as good as the wedges. And then as for these bread and butter pickles, we probably should have put some kind of a mat down to put these on, because they are stuck on, probably because of the sugar content, they've stuck pretty tight onto the tray. So getting them off, it's probably not going to be pretty. They are crisp. And honestly, they have pretty good flavor, but probably not quite as good as the dill wedges. Anyway, this has worked out. It's kind of, as you can see, a mixed bag. We had hoped for maybe some like this to work out better, but this is how we learn. The next thing we're going to do is take one of each of these and put them in. We're going to see if they will rehydrate. So I'm just going to kind of push them down here in the water for a minute, and we're just going to give them a little time and see what happens. So after a little bit of time of rehydrating, we're just going to see this kind of has a weird texture to it. And the outside's a little tough and the inside's a little bit mushy. I don't think this is a good candidate for rehydrating. I'd probably just eat these as snacks, just like they are. This one, kind of tough. The flavor's good, but the texture is really weird. Again, it's just not a texture that's very appetizing. So again, I think we'll just eat these as snacks and thoroughly enjoy them. Now we're going to take the ham and seal it up for long-term storage. Again, we're going to use the Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber. We're going to take the oxygen absorber, and again we'll put one out and quickly close that bottle back up. Then we're going to use the Harvest Right Impulse Sealer to seal this bag. Again, I'm just going to get it one more time. There you have it. Pretty slick and ready for consumption whenever. After looking further at the bread and butter pickles, I think we're just going to eat these right now and not try and preserve them for long term. I'm not sure that's a good thing for us to do. So we're going to go ahead and take these dill wedges. We're going to put them back in their jar. And hopefully they will all fit in there. A little harder to deal with when they're not flexible, so looks like we may not fit quite all of them in, which is fine because I'll just eat the rest as snacks. We'll see what we can slide in here. I think that's about all we're going to try and get in there. So we're going to go ahead and add an oxygen absorber. Probably would have been as easy or better to put that on the bottom, but either way. And we're going to seal this up nice and tight. And this does have the button top, so hopefully that'll pull down as the oxygen absorber does its job. Now again, we're going to take these little dill strips here. Looks like all of these are going to easily fit in this jar. And again, we'll take an oxygen absorber. slide that in there and seal this up. We'll look forward to having those sometime in the future. So as you can see, we kind of had a mixed bag. Some of this, like these sweet pickles, didn't work out well at all. That's part of the learning process. The rest of these seem to work out quite well, and now instead of having a product that's got 3 to 5 years of shelf life, we've got a product that we'll be eating, well, if they last that long, but we could eat them in 20 or 25 years. So again, a mixed bag. We had some success and some failure. That's part of the learning. Anyway, and now for the question of the day. What would you like to see us do next in the freeze dryer? Comment below, and thanks for being part of the solution.